found us. More podcast, where we want you to know God more deeply, find lasting freedom, discover your destiny and make an eternal difference. Now.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Are you guys highly caffeinated?
I am. I
see Alex has got his Monster.
What? We don't have a Red Bull up here?
Pastor Hunter, have you had your energy drink for the day or no?
I have not.
No.
You didn't even grab, but there's some in the fridge.
Red Thunder.
Yeah, I got a later.
Mountain.
Got a later night, so I'm just a little pacing myself.
Sure.
Red Thunder.
Brain has to be really firing at 5:30 tonight.
Wait, it's like wake up.
So yeah, what is the? So I was just having this conversation today. This morning was Eloise left with the school to go to Grand Rapids for the missions trip.
Yep.
Right, let's go Harbor Lake Christian School.
Yeah.
So be praying for that team. But I was like, man, I need a Red Bull this morning, and I realize I'm on it now.
Yeah.
I've kind of like got a routine, and I don't want a routine.
Yeah,
I do not want a routine with energy drinks.
Yeah.
So what's your guys' routine?
My routine with energy drink, I don't have one.
That's good.
No, I don't have one. If I feel like I really have to fire, and
then
maybe
that's when you do it.
Maybe it was the night before and was a long night, or I can tell my brain
It's
is foggy.
more out of necessity than it is out of routine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
now,
where I want to be.
Now my coffee is that way.
Yeah,
right.
sure.
So
That's a routine.
So the routine is I wake up in the morning. The first thing that hits my body is caffeine.
Sure.
And then the first thing when I get home from work is a cup of coffee.
Oh, really? You're doing it at night?
Well, that 3:30 or whatever.
Oh, sure.
You got to wake up for the games.
That's right. You got kids to play.
Because now the kids are home, so now I gotta get
that's right. Yeah.
fired back up again.
I have
and
found,
I just like the warm cup of coffee.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, I get it.
Especially in the winter.
I have found Sunday morning I'm typically doing a energy drink, and I try to only have another one during the week.
Good for you.
And it's for here.
Yeah, it's for the podcast.
It's usually for this. Yeah, to get ready.
Which was funny because Pastor Hunter, you said this a couple weeks ago. You're like, why is it every time I walk in the green room, I feel like I need to have a
Red Bull.
The spirit of Red Bull.
It's like
it's getting me.
It's like Pavlov's dogs.
Yeah,
every time a bell rings, I get a treat.
Yeah,
every time you go.
dogged myself.
You need one. I mean, I don't know.
Alex, you're like mainlining.
I do.
Bang. It's rare that ever in the mornings I see you without some brightly colored can.
I do this and then I get coffee,
Yeah.
I get
just jolt to the heart.
I do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like them. I like the taste of them. That's the problem.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They haven't figured that part out.
And so it's like, I kind of like think to myself, I could drink a pop, which would be good. But there's nothing to be. I'm not getting anything out of it.
And that's true. And like that Red Bull Zero, it's 10 calories and no sugar.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, what's wrong with this? And I feel great.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a headache in an hour, but
feel like a young man for 5 seconds.
I like the small Red Bull after first sermon.
Okay.
Yeah. So
just a little nightcap.
So I'll kind of have my coffee in the morning. And then preach that first sermon. I want to say hi to people, give people hugs, pray with people.
Yep.
And then I want to go in the green room with a Red Bull, crush it, and then just sit there.
And you're ready.
Yeah, you're ready to go
In peace for 10 minutes and maybe look over my notes again. Sure. And then my brain's ready to go.
It's better than Spurgeon, because Spurgeon, the great preacher.
Yeah, Charles.
He used to, between services, because he'd have between 2 and 3 services a Sunday.
Yep.
He would go and have a cigar and a glass of brandy.
All right, Spurge. All right, Spurge.
So by the time he got to the last sermon,
Was he an English guy or was he an American?
No, he was American.
It was yeah.
But he was.
I feel like at that time it was probably a little more normal. Yeah.
But that's what he would do. Would be
you walk in just reeking of a cigar. That'd be crazy.
He would. That's what he'd do. And he was the prince of preachers.
Yeah, wasn't the famous
getting loose by the third one?
That's what. Yeah, that's the point. Is that by the time the third one came around,
wasn't that thing the famous thing with Martin Luther was like for every church appointment he had, part of his compensation was like a cellar of wine or something. It was like in the contract. Just wild,
like I'm not going to be at this church unless you
So feel good about your Red Bull.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be worse.
It's not that bad.
It is, isn't it?
Like
I can stop whatever I want.
That's right. The equivalent of coffee, though, the caffeine intake on a Red Bull, like a medium-sized one is like 3 cups of coffee. Like it's not
Yeah.
insane.
No.
Yeah, because I think Red Bull's
just tell ourselves these
pulling
things.
80 grams of, not grams, but 80. I can't think of the right word.
Yeah.
I haven't had a Red Bull.
See, that's why you need one.
Yeah. And so there's actually some similarity between a small Red Bull and a cup of coffee.
What is that
Right.
monster got, Alex?
That's
Tell
probably
us.
here?
pulling 200 milligrams. There it is.
Milligrams, yeah.
Yeah, milligrams.
Or is it?
What's the average cup of coffee have?
They're not even. 200. No, they're saying it's sodium. Sodium's high in here.
I'm looking it up.
It doesn't say on here how many how
it
much
does.
caffeine.
It's got to.
Does it?
It's illegal if it doesn't.
I
All right.
can't.
The average cup of coffee, guess. How many milligrams?
150 milligrams per can.
Oh, that's nothing.
Per can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Average cup of coffee
Yep.
is 50,
95.
95.
So
Okay.
you're fine.
2 cups of
Drink
coffee.
another one.
That's what I'm saying.
4 cups. Let's
I need like 2 of them.
Right. And you're just getting it in
Yeah.
you. I think the thing is you can drink, it's just faster.
Right.
Right. Like I
Kicks you
remember there was a guy I knew who he was drinking those things all day and he had heart rhythmia stuff. And it was because they were saying is like, hey, you can't have 4 a day because that's like, 12 cups of coffee or whatever it is. And he's like, and it's so fast.
Right.
You're not drinking 4 cups of coffee just really fast. It's over 4 hours, maybe.
Right. You're sipping.
Right? Yeah.
As opposed to guzzling.
Right.
Yeah.
With a monster, you can get that sucker in you.
Yeah. And you're ready to go. Just like mainlining it.
You
Yeah,
should
tap
get
it,
the
yeah.
white monsters.
I love
I like
the White
those. Yeah,
Monster.
those are-
Isn't that like
Yeah.
the construction worker thing? There's like a thing on the internet about that. Yeah.
There's
it's like
a little
the
kid
blue-collar
who
guy.
so funny. I'm not even going to say it on
Okay.
the pod. But
Well, we had a band here a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Remember, one of their things in their rider was they had to have white monster drinks in the green room,
white monster.
and so
I'm going to add Red Bull Zero for mine.
there you
Yeah.
go.
And
Yeah,
so
it's already
they-
in
I'm
there,
like,
so
hey,
you don't
listen,
even have to do that.
yeah.
But
I was like, really? And they did. We bought them like 4 or 5 cases. They went through all of them. By the time.
4 cases of white
Well,
monster.
they get like
it's like
4,
the
like-
crew too.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
the
there's
4
like 4 in
Yeah.
there, but
But they went through all
on.
of those, and we're like, holy moly!
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot of monster.
yeah, I don't whatever. But there you go.
All right, I got a question for you. Okay, so lately, I don't know if it's just me, but as I'm talking to people, I'm hearing this phrase constantly being used now more than I've ever heard before, and that is when you say something, you go and whatnot.
And whatnot. Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that just like me picking it up, or is that something that's becoming new? Like more people are.
I
using
think
it?
people's been saying that for a long time.
Okay.
I think you just heard it. It's like when you notice, like, it's when you're looking at buying a car. So you're
Yeah.
looking at buying I have a Kia minivan.
Okay.
And you're like, I think I'm going to buy a Kia minivan. And
Now
then
you see
now
that,
you're driving
right.
around and it's like, there's 1,000 Kia minivans.
Right.
Well, there
Yeah.
were always 1,000 Kia
Sure.
minivans.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just
So-
started noticing them.
You just started noticing them now.
Use
I
it
think-
in a. Go ahead. Sorry.
So whatnot?
Yeah.
yeah. And whatnot.
Yeah.
Use it in a sentence.
Yeah.
Like okay, I just cleaned up the house and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way they use
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I've been hearing that for a while. Yeah.
See, I'm like, I've noticed more and more people are, at least to me, are using it. I'm like, my gosh, like how many people are using this phrase? I mean, it's
Yeah.
whatnot's being used for everything.
And
What do you-
whatnot. I hear that one a lot. And then recently I've noticed in this day and age, I hear that
this day and
all
age,
the
huh?
time.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a little phrase that you use quite often? Like again, newly married guy. I know my wife's is in all honesty,
Oh, it's a good one.
as if what you would say normally isn't
Is a
going to
lie.
be honest,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In all honesty, that's what she'll say.
No, I don't even know. I don't even know. My wife calls me Carl a lot. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys
we heard
noticed that.
Carl yesterday.
She calls me Carl. It's
when things are picking up, we're
and I'm
getting
not doing
serious.
and I'm not doing stuff that I should be doing. All of a sudden, I become Carl, and I'm not sure where that came from.
Yikes.
Yeah,
We need Pastor Amy on so she can explain.
yeah, like
Explain
Carl.
why she's calling him Carl.
Carl all the time. I
Pastor
don't know.
Hunter's is unmitigated gall.
Say that
Medication.
occasionally.
You say that a lot. Okay.
Yeah, the audacity.
The audacity.
The
That's
audacity.
that's a Grinch
It's a
reference.
I don't
Grinch
know
reference.
what mine is. I don't know. I don't know. Last night after watching The Quiet Place with Amy, I'm like, I'm going to try this. I want to be one of these people on Quiet Place. I'm not going to talk.
Just be quiet.
I'm going to start learning sign language. I'm just going to do that, and I'm just not going to say anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could do it, and she's like, no, you can't.
You
She
could.
goes, you sneeze once, they'd be on you.
You're done.
Yeah. She's like, you cannot not make noises.
Yeah.
She goes, you're a loud person.
You have
I'm
to
like,
live by a waterfall.
I would have to.
That movie is pretty unique.
It
like
is.
that was like a kind of a new story.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
It's just,
Like it's a monster story, but it's very cool in the sense of like lots of new ideas.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's kind of the movie itself is preying on how loud our world is.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we're
got social commentary there.
uncomfortable with quiet that we watch a movie where the movie's quiet, which makes the room quiet, and it's like
unsettling.
Make your skin crawl. Because like, why is it so quiet?
Right.
And we don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
That's
I think it would freak me out. I'd have to have a fan on.
Yeah, you would.
I'd be dead in the first month.
Have you ever seen like the side by sides of like old advertising to new advertising? And it's like the changes of new ones are like this, new scene, where it's like slow roll, panning shots of mom serving Folgers coffee at the breakfast table, where now it's like cutscene.
Keep your attention.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah,
we just literally cannot focus.
Well, I think I mentioned this
we're all caffeinated.
couple
energy drinks
podcasts ago. That Netflix is like
did a study. Right.
Did a study that people cannot watch. Cannot watch a movie. They actually are watching their phones at the same time, and so then they're rewatching a movie like 3-4 times.
Well, and they got to say the plot over and over again.
Yeah.
So they'll tell them, like, in writing, we have to say the plot of this episode 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Just in case someone's scrolling Facebook.
They're going to be.
They're
right?
going to be.
So,
I do it all the time.
So last night, right, we're sitting in my house, and we're watching, my kids, I'm like, hey, we're going to find a show we're all going to watch together, right? We're doing this. And we chose the new Fear Factor. Have you guys seen this?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Oh, my goodness.
Is it fun?
Oh, it's so fun.
I haven't seen it.
So we talk about that. But I literally am like, off your phones.
Yeah.
We are literally watching one phone together, a giant one in front of you.
You can't
get off it. And it would be consistently every 45 to a minute and a half for the first 5 minutes to 10 minutes. And then now we're stretching an element. Oh, now it's just a commercial break and I'm going to get on my phone.
Right.
And it was a sense of like, hey, this is a come to Jesus moment. We're watching a show together.
Yeah.
It's literally a screen, but I was on them. But
you have to.
We got to figure that out. We got to figure that one out.
I don't know how. I mean, I do it all the time. I'm like, whenever there's a commercial.
Oh, man.
I don't want to watch the commercial. I'm going to look at something
I'm bored.
on my phone. Yeah.
Yep, moving on. But hey, the new Fear Factor.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's good.
Oh, boy.
Johnny Knoxville.
You forget how ridiculous that stuff is.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. No, I know, but it is like, and it's all the tropes of like reality TV stars on it too. So there's like the people who are like there to like, I'm not here to make friends. Like that statement is made a million times in every one of those things.
I'm here to win.
Right, exactly. Like, okay, great, buddy. You're plowing new ground there, but
the redneck dude's like, I'm ready to blow this place up.
They did the one that's like the throwback to the original show. Sorry, guys, got sneeze.
Yeah, there we go. You'd be dead. You'd be
he's
dead.
done.
You're dead. He's in there.
I would be. And it's the box.
Here it is.
Sorry. Oh my goodness.
It's
Something
coming.
got me. So they get into a box, right? On the show, and then they have to like find a code that's in these balls that are dropped from the top of the box. It almost is like a phone booth, right? And they have things drop on them that they're fearful of. Unreal.
Yeah.
Like I literally at one point they drop like 20 giant snakes on this tiny white girl, and she loses her mind.
She hates it.
Rightly so.
Yeah, I would be.
There is and she's like now digging around in snakes, and she's like, I can't do this. Like, she's just
Take me out.
Send me home.
Honestly, and I audibly was like, absolutely not. No way am I going to stay in that thing.
How much money?
I could not do it.
No, the number
50,000.
It's 250.
250. Okay, 250.
So
if you
it's
win,
life-changing money, right? It is life-changing money. Like that's always the bar of like, would you do this thing? It's got to be life-changing money. But that isn't even the guarantee to win the whole show.
Right.
So if we're starting off the rip on you're dumping exotic snakes on my head,
I'm not doing it.
And they're all mad because you just dropped them 6 feet in the air, and now they're like hissing at you.
No, I'm out of there.
I'd be fine with snakes, but if you drop spiders on me,
Dude,
I'm heading out.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm the type of person, I see a snake on the ground, I'm picking it up.
Really?
These aren't just little gardener snakes.
Well, that's fine.
Boa constrictor.
What's a boa gonna do to me?
Bro, I can't.
Yeah.
It's gonna bite me. This is the worst thing that happens is it bites me.
Right. You ever been bit by a snake? No.
It's not that bad.
I'm gonna avoid
I've
that,
never.
man.
This is when Pastor Hunter was at a church where they snake handling church in the Appalachian Mountains.
Yep. He was itinerant preaching.
He's like, I can do that. Don't worry about it.
Bring out the cobras.
The other one was this, right? So it's like physical fear, mental fear, and then eating stuff.
Yeah.
That's the
Eating stuff is. There's one. It's like maggot cheese. It's awful.
Yeah.
Like I am like. Could not
the eating stuff would bother me.
Couldn't do it. And
That'd
it's like
me.
They'll like pig ears mixed with like fermented egg juice,
and it's all blended up.
Oh, so it's just 2000 youth group.
It kind of is. It really is. Like I was thinking about
Before
that. I
all the
said that to the
lawsuits.
kids. I was
Yeah.
like, "This is like a youth pastor just came up with these games for sure."
That's what it is.
2001 youth ministry,
Right.
or you can watch Fear Factor.
Throw some gasoline on youth ministry games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Matt,
what it is.
we should talk Matt into doing a
Absolutely.
month of like old school youth group.
yeah.
So 2001,
Yeah, right.
parents just know.
You have to get waivers from
There
all the
might
parents.
be broken bones.
This is what we used
You
to do.
remember
back
how
then.
youth group was for you?
Kids
Yeah.
were
We're
tougher.
bringing it back.
That's right.
No, not my kid. Not my kid.
Not my darling
I think we talked about that one time.
Yeah.
Like what youth group games will get you fired today.
Oh
that you
yeah.
did.
I told the one that Pastor Gary did with the bungee cord.
Yes.
Like he had to run towards a wall to grab something and come back, and that thing would either snap or you'd fly back,
or just
Yeah.
smoke you in the back.
Yeah,
Like
and-
now there's a laceration across your
No
back.
right.
pain.
You're going home with bruises and all kinds of cuts and
Yeah.
stuff.
Rub some dirt in it
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
and whatnot.
Yeah, there it is. I'm gonna
Bringing it
start.
back.
You
I'm
can't
gonna
do it in this day and age.
No, you cannot. You cannot. You would be sued, or parents would be picketing your office. Yeah,
Not in this day and age.
not in this day and age.
Well, Alex, in all honesty, why do we listen to the podcast?
Well, we listen to the podcast because it stands for MORE, which is maximizing opportunities for right now and for eternity. So stop asking why you listen. Just never forget to listen and pass it on. I think people are beyond the point of asking why I listen to this. They're like, what are they going to say next? What's going to go on next?
I think people know why
I think they're there.
Fair enough.
Well, this episode is brought to you by Wednesday Night Live Dinner at 5:30. For just $3 per person, you can feed your whole family or take your special someone out on the most affordable midweek date around.
I'm going to take you to a nice place.
That's right. This is going to be good. They've got plastic spoons. We serve Piper's Pizza every week. And on the last Wednesday of the month, it's a surprise menu. It could be tacos, sloppy joes, Swedish meatballs. Ooh, so good. That was good. You just show up and find out. And yes, we even have a salad bar. That's right. Grab a plate, head under the sneeze guard, and build something impressive. Great food, amazing volunteers, and even better fellowship. Every Wednesday at 5:30. Come hungry, bring someone with you, and have a good time. Yeah. We do. I mean, I think it's good food. I mean,
It's never, it's no better deal in town.
Come on.
for $3.
No better people you're going to hang out with.
I mean, you can't even get. What's the new McDonald's sandwich? The Arch.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't even. I want to try it just because it's brand new. But it's like $4. Just a sandwich.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, we say this, right? If you make Wednesday Night Live a part of your schedule,
Right.
your life, you will be benefited. This is an investment of time. It is getting out of the house. And we
Yeah.
were just talking about this before the pod. It is hard, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to do one more thing.
Come up with something to do. Yeah.
Right? But promise you will never be like, man, I'm bummed out we went to that.
Right.
That was not worth my time. My family is not closer to Jesus because of what happened. Like it's
It's good.
worth the investment.
Amy and I went to a Mexican restaurant a week ago in
Yeah.
Gaylord, and just two of us.
Yeah.
$65.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't
boy.
even know what we bought. I'm like, and we took some of it home because we couldn't eat it all.
Sure.
I'm like, what the heck? Well, I remember what we
it's
bought.
crazy.
Yeah, it was rice and chicken with cheese on it. It's called
It doesn't cost
the
65
Chewy
bucks.
Special. Yeah,
Chewy special.
$65.
Wow.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
My iced tea was $4.50,
Hey, gasoline today, fellas.
$4.19.
Oh boy.
Are we kidding?
Just going to get worse.
It's just, but the
thing that-
war's going to end. I just saw us. Didn't Trump just say this? He just said it
I
yesterday.
don't think so.
right.
They just
Sorry.
CNN just showed that there was underground missile tunnels, and no, you're shaking your head. No,
Not happening.
Pastor Hunter doesn't believe that it's going to happen.
Widen out that Suez Canal or whatever it is.
You can't say it like that.
No.
No.
Let's just
Straight ahead moose.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, make a
That's
new
it.
one.
Suez.
That's the idea.
Let's just
so much money.
Let's just put some snowplows in front of those boats
Yeah.
and blast out that thing, make it even wider.
Where are they getting the missiles? That's what I want to know. We've taken them all out. I mean, where are they getting more missiles?
They can make 500 drones a day.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yep, they cost $50,000
Come on.
to make
boy.
them, and the missiles that we use to shoot them out of the sky is over $1 million.
Oh, boy.
Oh, great. So there you go.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's.
Okay, but the gas thing, though, drives me nuts because every time I get on.
Gas
I
is
listen to the
expensive,
news,
man. It sucks.
They're like, we're making more oil than we've ever done before. We've got to open up a new refinery.
Quit telling me that.
Right. I'm like, well, then what's
$5
going on with
deal.
my gas here?
Yeah, it's a global market, right?
Yeah.
So we've lost 20% of it.
It's a scam. I'm telling you, it's a scam. The oil prices are a scam.
People are
because
getting rich.
Yeah, they're like, it's war. We're going to charge you more. No, you don't.
Yep.
I mean, come on. It's ridiculous.
Yep, it is. Well, come to Wednesday Night Live.
Come to Wednesday Night Live. Yeah, we
because
said
gas
all
is
that.
so expensive. We can give you a cheap lunch.
That's
We'll
right,
give you a cheap
man.
dinner, $3.
Come on.
Feed
That's
your family.
right.
Come on.
You might spend $15 in gas to get here.
That's still a better deal.
$3 here.
Than going to that Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
Come on.
There you go.
And
Come
there's
on.
not even... Never mind, I'm not even going to go there.
There we go. We got it. We're
And
just there.
I don't know if you noticed this now, but all the Mexican restaurants now are charging you for the free chips.
He said it. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Ain't no way you just made me pay for the chips.
Yeah, you know, it is. Isn't this the bread bowl of your restaurant? This is the bread
Yes.
of your
Yeah.
restaurant.
Come on.
Charge
It'd be like
me for
Olive
chips and
Garden
salsa.
charging me for breadsticks.
Right.
Listen.
Come on.
This is the free
That's-
part.
Ridiculous.
It's time to boycott.
That's right.
Yeah.
That isn't because the Suez Canal or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
We're shipping these chips through that canal.
Yeah, right.
It's
This should
just
be cheaper.
oil.
There ain't no ship that's been blown up that has chips on it. Bring them in here.
That's right. Get them in.
All right, we're gonna take an ID break, come back, and we're gonna do the. We're gonna tell you who's around the table, and we're actually missing one of our compatriots here.
Yes.
Pastor
one of our
Gary's not here.
comrades.
He's gone for a few days, but we're gonna try our best to hold things down. We got Pastor Hunter here.
Yeah, we do.
Under direct orders from Pastor Gary to keep Ted and I under control, so we should be fine.
Exactly right.
You're listening to More Podcast, where the unreal meets the real and something happens with gamma radiation, and then the More Podcast is born. Keep listening. There's so much more.
Well, he's a worship leader, a coach, a father of five, and after 28 inches of snow, officially the mayor of his own driveway.
Oh, yeah.
A man who's burned more calories shoveling this week than in every workout he's ever posted. A man who now measures spiritual maturity by how early he starts the snowblower. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Pastor Tim.
All right. Yeah. The man across from me, a man who saw 28 inches of snow and immediately decided today felt like a stay inside and hydrate kind of day.
Come on.
A man who owns a shovel but spiritually does not feel led to use it.
Preach it.
A man currently tracking the weather, hoping for sunny with the chance of someone else handling it. Pastor Hunter. Let's
Oh, that's
go.
true. Shout out Pastor Gary for
Yeah.
plowing me out. Come
Hey,
on.
all right.
All right, and then the guy to my left is a rare combination. Loves Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and theology. He's the only one who can go from "you shall not pass" to "let's exegete that Greek verb real quick."
Amen.
He may not have much hair, but what
right.
he lacks on top, he makes up for in depth, wisdom, and the ability to preach the word. To my left, we have Pastor Alex.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Hey,
That was good.
speaking of Lord of the Rings, can we
Yeah,
talk about that
let's
for a
do it.
second? So my daughter had a friend over, Lila Robertson, shout out, the other day, and we were talking about, we were playing Harry Potter Monopoly.
Okay.
And we were like nerding out and being nerds, and it was fun. And then we were talking about Lord of the Rings, and she's like, you know, I've never actually seen that.
Oh my! What?
And that is every Lord of the Rings fan's
like-
hope.
Yeah.
To watch it.
Meat's
with
back on the menu,
Yeah,
boys.
We get to watch this with you as you experience it for the first time.
That's exciting.
So we watched. We did it. It was so good.
Yep.
It was so fun.
There's nothing like it.
Oh, what
man.
did you do? Did you watch the extended edition or did you
No,
watch
just
the
Please
normal.
tell me you didn't.
It was just normal. I mean, and she's nerdy, right? So
Yeah.
she likes that stuff too. But it's just so fun.
Okay.
I gotta
She-
ask, though.
She read The Hobbit, so she's familiar some with
Yeah.
the universe, and it's just that I am partial to Lord of the Rings. I will
So
say
good.
I think that Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy. Alex,
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
sorry,
yeah, well, it's okay.
over Star
That's
Wars,
fine,
but
yeah.
I do think there's something like the Christian kid aspect to it, because obviously the interplay of faith in that, and then just the like enormousness of Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
it's just
So good.
such an awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's a
Did
good
you
thing.
guys do like he broke his foot when he kicked that? Did you guys do it?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I love
think
seeing
so.
the memes when everybody's like, oh, he's going to do it.
Right. I mean, Theo was doing the like, why didn't they just ride the eagles to Mordor?
Because
with
they didn't know they could.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
That's why. They didn't know there were eagles they could call.
exactly.
Right. And I mean,
Gandalf did, but he had to get to a place where they could do it.
he's not.
right.
Yeah, he's not even telling them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
No.
he's talking to butterflies the whole time, or moths, or whatever.
Yeah,
they are.
moths.
But yeah,
It is just it's perfect, right?
weird, dude.
It's just it's a perfect book series, and the movies are fantastic. It was just so fun.
The one I always think is funny is the rabbit wizard dude.
Yeah.
You got poop in your hair, dude.
Yeah, what's that one guy called? Radamati. I'm gonna get it wrong. All the
like-
I can't
true
remember it.
fans will be like,
There's a reason why
"Actually."
you have no friends, because nobody wants to stand next to
Yeah,
you when
man.
you got whatever bird poop in your hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
fair enough. Hey, but maybe you don't want friends. It's
Yeah,
like, this
maybe
is a good way to keep them away.
Maybe that's
yeah,
why you're
man.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got no social batteries.
He is.
So he's just hanging out in the
He's
woods
just
with the
like,
rabbits.
I'm gonna don't mess with me. Yeah, it's not a big deal. All right, we're gonna take an idea break. Come back. We've got something interesting to talk about. It's the big question is, because we're all Christians here around the table, and hopefully you're a Christian listening to us. Why? What would Jesus do in a situation?
Oh, yeah.
like we experienced up here in the snow. And if you're
What
not
would he
from
do?
this area, because we know we have people around the world that listen to us, we just got piled on by a lot of snow in the middle of March, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, it's kind of common to have some snow, but we beat out some statistics that
like
have happened.
one storm for the ages.
The storm
Like,
for the ages, yeah, at least in our lifetime.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're a little jaded and have a little PTSD about any snowflake that falls on the ground, because we're tired of digging ourselves out so that we could just go to the store or just go do anything.
It's awful.
Yeah,
It was
so
no
we're going to come
fun.
back and see what Jesus would say about this. Be
Okay.
right back.
Listening to more podcast is like buying a used car. It seems like a good idea at the time. Then you realize that this is going to be an investment. Much like more podcast. So stay a while and kick the tires for an hour. Not too hard. We do tend to have some things fall off. More podcast.
Speaking of that, I saw somebody driving on the road from Indian River to Alanson as a truck. He hit one of the potholes, mini potholes that we have on the road, and he lost the whole quarter panel on the back. And he gets out of his truck, he picks it up, and he's waving at everybody like, sorry, sorry, I had to stop. And he just throws it in the back, and he's like,
Drive away.
yeah.
Right.
He's
It
like,
still
it's
runs.
Yeah.
It's not needed.
That's right. That's right.
It's not a problem.
Strip off the weight that slows you down.
By the time he's done driving that road, he's not going to have a truck left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep the engine going, tires
right.
on, we'll be all right.
You're right.
That's the thing. As long as you're still rolling down the road, I mean, who cares, right? I'm a little worried about my car, too, because, I mean, that road is getting bad. I mean,
that is a bad road.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that's
getting
a
really
bad
bad.
road.
All right. Well, real question for the Northern Michigan this week. We got 28 inches or more of snow, not pretty snowfall, not Hallmark movie snow. I'm talking that, you open your door and it's a wall.
Stick to the bones type snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lose your dogs out there. I
Yep.
mean, my dogs jump out in the snow and then they can't move because they're buried.
there you go.
Well, at some point, every one of us had the same spiritual moment. You're halfway through shoveling, questioning your life, questioning your salvation, and you just whispered, Lord, what would you do right now? So we want to answer that on the More podcast, because we're a bunch of theologians around this table, and it's a good question for us to kind of ponder. How
That
would
is
God?
very generous.
Yeah,
Just
how would
to
God
say
deal with this stuff? Yeah, I mean, well, and you come up with some really good, interesting things.
Yeah.
Just based off of what we've known of Jesus and the teachings that he had, there's some interesting things we can come up with. The first thing is that he would probably multiply one snowblower into 12 and still say to his disciples, "Nah, builds character, take a shovel," which I think makes sense, right? I mean, that would kind of be in keeping with his style of leadership.
If Jesus said it, I'd do it, but
Right.
I wouldn't love it.
I would be looking at the snowblower going,
Right.
why am I doing this?
Yeah,
and I
I'd
mean,
grumble.
spiritually, we do this a lot, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
We're praying for God to give us a snowblower, and he says, here's a shovel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's good. Another one here. He'd tell Peter to walk across the snowdrift, and Peter would make it 3 steps before becoming part of the landscape. True, very true. Although it is kind of fun to think about, when you get that nice ice cover on the
Yeah.
snow, and you can walk on it for a little bit, and then you sink in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, yeah. And here's another one. He wouldn't cancel church ever if the tomb couldn't hold me. A snowstorm isn't stopping service.
Amen.
Yeah, come on.
Let's go.
That's legit. I think
Let's
Jesus
go.
would be like, you know what? You'd make it to church. He calmed the storm right after you finished shoveling and threw your back out. Yeah, thanks, Jesus.
And then
yeah.
heal your back.
Then I think you're right.
Right.
You learn something from it, and then
Yep.
you get your back healed. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of parables. He'd be teaching about washing your sins white as snow.
Right. I've always wondered about that, because
Did they know what snow was?
right. That's
Is
my
it snowing
question.
in Jerusalem?
It doesn't maybe
Yeah.
once in a generation, if that.
Hey, you're a Bible translation guy. This was one of the ones that was used in my early Bible exegete classes. Was like, we're going to translate that into white as the clouds in Africa. There's an African language or translating.
like
Bible.
white cliff
yeah,
would do it,
right.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
makes
they do
sense,
that
right?
a lot. They do that a lot. There's
You know what snow is,
they don't know what snow is,
Right.
So how do you make it work?
right?
Yeah, you see that a lot. It's interesting though, but I think of that passage of scripture of snow. It's like even if you get to the mountains in that area,
Right.
they're not snow capped. There's not
Right.
snow around there, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Somebody saw snow one time. They're like, we got to
somebody
talk
did.
about
Yeah.
it.
Somebody.
We got to talk
It's
about
the
it.
end of the age.
Yeah, it's different. Here's the last one. He'd feed the 5,000 with one crock pot of Wednesday night chili.
Oh, yeah.
And somehow there's still leftovers for
Come
takeout.
on, a good Midwest chili on a snowy day.
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I've been there. I think you mentioned a while back that, Pastor Hunter, that you said you had a moment where the chili seemed to keep multiplying.
Yeah, I've literally seen, man, how is there still
Yeah.
chili here? I remember walking in and be like, we don't have enough food.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's more and more chili.
I
Did it?
don't know. I think it's funny. I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but when we lived in southern Indiana, their thing is to always eat peanut butter bread with chili.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't get it.
Southern Indiana?
Yeah. You had to have it.
Bunch of
Like when you
weirdos.
did a potluck, if you did not have bread, a loaf of bread and peanut butter, people were like freaking out. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to have this together. I
Yeah,
don't know
it's
where that
weird,
was. Yeah,
man.
it is weird. And then I have friends of mine that put peanut butter in their chili. Like we put
Weird.
cheese on it. Like a North
Super
Michigan
weird.
thing here is cheese.
Cheese, yeah.
Yeah, and then
that
some,
makes sense.
Yeah, that
Right.
makes sense. Yeah, to us, but
Yeah.
they would never do that. And
They
then
put
if you
peanut
had
butter.
sour cream, oh my gosh, you're
They
putting it
said,
over
you
the
know
edge.
what I need to do is slap some peanut butter in.
Right, that's what I'm like. Where'd you come up with that?
They're like, is this like we need protein and we're
Maybe.
like we just don't have a lot of money? Maybe we're
So we're
making
gonna
this
slap a little
chili
bit. Yeah,
last
not
or
enough
something.
meat in here, so we're gonna put
Right.
some peanut butter in here because it's cheaper.
I don't know, man. That sounds weird.
It would definitely,
is.
well, it's fat. It's fat, right?
Yep.
So it would
Yeah.
definitely thicken it up, giving it
Right, but
nutty
peanut
flavor.
butter's got nuttiness. I don't think I want nuttiness. in
If a
my
bunch of
chili.
people are doing it, I bet it's good.
Well,
Next time Hannah makes chili, I'm trying it 100%.
Are you serious?
Some
Oh, yeah.
peanut butter in
You're gonna
there.
put peanut butter in and see if it works.
Yeah.
All right. What's some weird food that you ate?
Carrots and peanut butter.
Carrots and peanut butter?
Eat it all the time. Delicious.
For real?
Still?
Oh, yeah. It's delicious. It's like candy.
What?
You have no idea how good carrots and peanut butter is. It makes the
Okay.
carrot taste sweet.
Really?
This
Yeah.
is like carrots are already sweet though.
Yeah, but you put peanut butter on it, and
It's
it's
extra.
like, I'm eating some candy right now.
This is
Some
like distance runner guy stuff. That's like
That's what it
weird.
sounds like.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Sounds like
hey,
I
I,
gotta-
need protein and fiber, and this is the way I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
and tell
that
myself
dude,
it
hit
tastes
hit
good.
me with some Pedialyte and carrots and peanut butter, and I'm ready to
You're
run
like,
a marathon.
I'm on a golf course in October and it's raining. Nothing
Yeah.
like Pedialyte and carrots and peanut butter.
Just saying.
Okay, I get. I mean, you
Fuel,
know,
fuel the machine.
Yeah,
I would
that's
do it.
right.
You know, I
Okay.
guess if I needed it, I don't know. I was,
Yeah.
you know, the Pedialyte thing is hilarious because when my kids were really young, and my wife, that was her go-to. Like if I ever was outside working and mowing the lawn or whatever, she's like, "Here, have some Pedialyte."
Make
Don't-
sure to drink your Pedialyte.
Yeah, don't take it from the kids. You know,
Pedialyte works, man. It's good.
It gets you
Hydration
right.
drink. Yeah, it will.
well, that's what they tell you to. The doctors a lot of times will tell you to drink Pedialyte if you've got issues.
Yeah,
Really?
so I've talked to you about this. Theo's like lifting weights and getting ready for football season, and he's like going hard. So I jump in. Like if we're gonna do this, like I'll do it with you, right? Like I'm full bore. Let's get you going. So now we're trying to calories, like let's bulk up.
Yeah.
And I will try to it's like an extra piece of pizza every time, or it's fettuccine Alfredo. It's
Right.
like really heavy stuff. And he's like, Dad, I can't eat this. So now it's the protein shakes thing.
Yep. Yeah.
But he hates them. He hates the protein shake. So literally yesterday,
Just look at him and say,
Yeah.
sorry, bud.
that's what I'm saying.
Cry about it.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm
part of
telling
your
him.
workout,
Right, like
son.
you're going to go lift weights regularly.
Right.
Your metabolism is never going to be higher. You're not gaining any muscle here, pal. You got to have some calories in you.
Tough stuff,
so
man.
Last night, I gave him, this sounded so good to me. It's vanilla protein powder.
Yep.
Chocolate ice cream.
Yep.
And chocolate milk. That's your
Great.
shake.
That sounds good.
It tasted great, and he's like, "This is mid."
Really?
Oh yeah, I was like, "Pal,
Well, you know,
he drank it."
Well, then I guess you should be comfortable with being mid.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You're gonna be You're gonna be Gumby out there.
That's right, man.
Yeah. Sorry,
you
buddy.
gotta.
All right.
Yep.
I'll just start bullying him.
Do it.
Do you want me to start bullying him?
Yeah, this is it's Veer quarterback. Quarterback runs the ball a lot. Gonna get hit.
Yeah. All right.
You gotta have some
All right,
muscle.
spaghetti arms.
Exactly. Let's
Right?
go,
Yeah.
man.
Get some muscle on there.
Get
I
some.
don't know.
Get some calories.
My
in your
kids, I don't know when they switched to this, but we were going through our cupboards trying to clean out all the stuff that
Yeah.
our kids left behind as they've left our home, and I have found so many containers of protein powder.
Sure.
And I don't even know what this powder does and this powder does, but I'm like, you guys are literally drinking this all the time. I'm like, yeah, I do it all the time. And then Carson, he's lifting weights now, and I have to say, he is getting big.
Carson is 6'4".
6'4", yeah.
He's a tall human.
But the funny thing was when he was in YWAM overseas, he had a jacket he bought, and we have pictures of him wearing it, and it fits fine. That jacket looks like a little baby jacket on him now, and he was trying to wear it. We were down there, for the wedding, and we're like, hey, let's put that on. Amy was like, I bought that for you over there, and he's like, tries to get it on. He can't get his arms in it.
Really?
He's getting massive up top.
Huh.
Like he's.
when we went to Turkey with Carson, I can't remember. I think it was cow brain.
Oh, did he eat it?
Oh boy. I was like,
my
and
God.
I'm down for adventurous eating. I think that's
Yeah.
super fun. And I was like, you are more bold than I.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
When he lived in Indonesia,
You gotta do
for a
it,
year,
right?
he did
Yeah. He's a lot
of
tougher.
weird stuff.
Yeah, you gotta
I would-
do that.
I would never eat half the stuff. That's why I'm not a good traveler.
Yeah, not a cow brain. Well,
No.
put some peanut butter on it.
This is good. No, when we went to Indonesia the first time, I'm like, the last day, I'm like, I told Amy, and she goes, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to eat something American. I'm so tired of eating all this Indonesian weird stuff. And so we went to this restaurant, and the lady comes up. She's like, what sounds interesting? I'm like, you got American food? And she's like, what do you mean by American food? And I listed off a bunch of things. And she's like, I think we could do some of that. I'm like, good. I said, do you have bacon? She's like, yeah. And they do. They have, bacon there. And so she brings out these slabs of bacon that look like pieces of ham.
Sure.
I'm like, that'll work. I'll do it.
Yeah, you did it?
Yeah, I'll do
Okay.
that. So
Good for you, buddy.
all right, we're going to take an energy break, come back with Bible trivia. Pastor Hunter, do
Yep.
you have
I'm ready to go.
He's ready to go. Man, you are on it. He's on it. Okay, we'll come back after this.
If 1 + 1 = 2, then listening to more podcasts from week to week equals? We're not sure, but our fans say it adds up to something. Just don't overthink it. Sit back, we have more to come.
Well, here we are with the Bible trivia.
Here we are.
Yes, if you want to be a part of Bible trivia and get your name put on the Wheel of Destiny by Wilson Insurance, all you have to do is send it to harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase, and let us know your answer. And we have some amazing gifts that we
do.
have here. We have the
Yeah.
MSU.
So
MSU.
can I help you with these?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, so there's a Hydro Flask, Harbor Lake Community Chapel, largemouth, bigger bottle Hydro
Yeah.
Flask. This is a great water bottle.
It looks more like
This is
an
a
army
great-
water bottle.
It
Yeah.
is. It's a great water bottle. And then we have two more. We have a Yeti.
Sippy
This
cup.
is sippy cup. This would be for your kids, but your kid's gonna go to school and wrap Harbor Light on there. It's
Yeah.
even got the little flip out straw. It's a great water bottle also. And then I think we decided this was a koozie.
Yeah.
Right? So
Like a Yeti koozie.
it's a Yeti koozie. Very cool. It's black. This would be a good
Put your
spot.
Diet Cokes in there.
Absolutely. This is going to be good for hanging around the campfire, on the boat, or wherever you want
Put
to
your
just take
a
your
pop.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. You're gonna use this guy. This is a good one. These are good. These are high quality prizes.
Yes.
And we have the crooked biscuit.
Absolutely, the crooked biscuit.
But in order to win,
Yeah, $20.
you got to answer this question.
Got
That's right. Here's the
answer.
question.
How many basketfuls did they use after Jesus fed the 4,000, or during Jesus feeding
how
the
many
4,000?
baskets?
How many basketfuls? Yes.
Huh.
That's a good one.
When Jesus
ran
fed the
out.
4,000.
It wasn't one basket, and they just passed it down the line.
No.
No,
And there are
it's
two
baskets.
references to feeding.
There are.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, which one are we?
Fourth.
referring
Hey,
to?
don't help them.
Oh, okay. Don't.
Oh, okay.
4,000. Feeding of the
The
4,000.
feeding of
4,000,
the 4,000.
That's all the information you need.
All right.
Don't tell them anymore.
So I'm one in the baskets in the 4,000.
Okay, well,
Right.
if you want to answer that question and get your name put on the Wilson Insurance Wheel of Destiny so we can spin it and see who's going to win, all you got to do is send that to harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase, and let us know your answer. And, for the most part, people do well. I mean, thanks to Google and ChatGPT, people come up with the answers pretty quick. So we'll be right back after this, and we'll get into our Bible talk with Pastor Hunter from last Sunday. It involves a lot of plants, a lot of seeds. It's good. It's going to be good. We'll have a good time.
Headphones on. Check. The perfect podcast on. Check. Not sure why you're listening? Good point. Should you keep listening? Yes.
Yes, you
Should you
should.
tell others you listen to the More Podcast? Good idea. Life just got better.
This is going to be a good Bible talk because Pastor Hunter's brought his Bible here.
The Bible's out, ready to
Yeah,
go.
he's got it flipped open to whatever page he's on. He's ready to go. Well, this week on Bible Talk, we're digging into one of the most searching questions a person can ask. How is your heart really? Well, Pastor Hunter took us into Mark chapter 4 and the parable of the sower, showing us that Jesus was never just interested in surface-level religion. He always went deeper. He went after the heart. And in this conversation, we're unpacking what it means to live with a trampled heart, a shallow heart, a distracted heart, or a healthy heart, and why the condition of our heart shapes everything that grows out of our life. If you've ever felt stuck between hurt, distraction, emotion, and spiritual fruitlessness, well, this is the conversation for you. So let's get into this week's Bible Talk with Pastor Hunter. So, Pastor Hunter, give us kind of like a 30-second overview of what you talked about.
Yes.
Sunday.
Yeah, so we were talking about parable of the sower. So seeds getting thrown onto soil. And we also talked about Proverbs, Proverbs 23, verse 4. That it all starts with the heart. That everything that comes out of you comes from the heart. And so guard your heart. And so we were talking about how your condition of your heart matters. And depending on the condition of your heart will show you how you respond to God's word and God in your life. And so we talked about what it means to have an unhealthy heart and some of the pitfalls that maybe you can fall into if you do have an unhealthy heart, which at the end we kind of say we may end up faking it.
Yeah.
Which is a dangerous thing.
And, I think it was interesting just to kind of help people understand what was happening there. You also had plants.
Yeah. So I had a fake plant and a real plant, and I kind of talked up the fake plant to the best that I could, and let people know how great a fake plant is. Yeah. That you don't got to take care of it. That you don't have to water it. You don't have to put it in front of the sun. You don't have to change the soil. It'll always look good 100% of the time, but it will never bear fruit. It'll never be able to reproduce. But the real plant, you have to take care of. Yeah. All these things that you have to do. I got to do things I don't even know how to do. Yep. But that plant can bear fruit and can create. And what I loved about the plant that we had was it had babies on it. So you cut those, you cut those off and put them in a pot, and it's gonna grow into another spider plant. Yeah, and that's what a real plant can do.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good image, man. It was good. It was super helpful.
I thought so. Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that what you did. People can relate. That was the thing that was really interesting. Is as you're talking about it, people are relating to those things because on a very practical level, it makes very, very good logic. And how you talked about the fake plant and the real plant, because I think a lot of us kind of rationalize, a fake plant. ideology, and the way we're living that life. And it's, faking it until you make it kind of, philosophy of life. And it can look good for a while, but people, see through it, see past it.
And it's also just so much energy.
Yeah.
And it's so much work to fake it.
Yeah.
It is so much work to try to think about who you're supposed to be around this person as opposed to around this person. It's exhausting.
Yeah,
and eventually you'll lose yourself. You don't even know who you are.
Right, yeah.
And, I kind of talked to the message that people will have an experience with God, and then because their heart is unhealthy, the seed doesn't take, but they feel like it should have. And so now they have this expectation that maybe people have on them, and so they feel like they got to fake it.
Yeah.
And one of the things I said was, I'm not like them, so something must be wrong with me. Mm-hmm. And then Satan says, yeah, you're right. And you're the only one.
Yeah.
Everybody else is perfect.
Yeah.
And you're the only one, which is, it creates a shame cycle, and it causes us to hide and pretend and throw blame in other places, which is exactly what Adam and Eve did in the garden in the first place.
And I think we talked about a while back, that's one of the big shifts we're starting to see within the church, isn't it? Where we're moving from where we were. I mean, let's be honest. As a church, a lot of times we presented ourselves as something that we were not.
Right.
And and then people started realizing. That's why we had people leaving the church by the droves, because they started seeing that they're just a bunch of fake plants sitting here. Mm-hmm. They look good from the outside, but they're really not living the kingdom life.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So it's good.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about this idea that Jesus says the condition of our heart determines what grows in our life. How do we be honest in evaluating our heart without just defaulting to the I'm doing fine? What are often missing in that self-assessment?
Yeah, I think being real and being just honest with yourself, right? And another thing that's happening is you're comparing yourself to somebody that either is way better than you or somebody you're way better than. And so it's like, well, I'm not that person.
Yeah.
So I'm better. I'm better than that person. I'm not that dirty sinner. Not as good as this person, right? And so we start playing a comparison game. The reality, the person that we want to measure up to is Jesus. That's who we want to be like. We want to be like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So we don't need to go look at other people who have some other sin that you would never do, which is what always happens.
Sure.
They find people, and I've done it myself, find a sin that you would never do and say, well, I'm not a murderer.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but if you have hate in your heart, Jesus says you're just as bad as a murderer.
Right.
Right? And so you got to be honest with yourself and maybe try to get away from that comparison game.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the big takeaway for me on Sunday was, for me, having lived some years now as a Christian, the default for me isn't necessarily this just run headfirst into rampant sin or away from Jesus or something like that. It's just sort of apathy of like, things okay. Like it's just okay. Like things aren't great. Things aren't bad. And I think that for most Christians who are faithful attenders of church or people who've made big decisions to follow the Lord, at some point in your Christian faith, you run into that apathy thing. You run into that, like, this life's just life, right? And so I think there's, can you speak to that? Like, what is Christian discipline in that?
So the apathy part, right?
Yeah.
So we become apathetic in all of our relationships, right? So, one of the things that as you grow closer to somebody, you start to realize like, oh, this person never going to leave me. And so sometimes they'll get our worst. Okay. Right. And I think sometimes we do that with our relationship with Holy Spirit and Jesus, where we start to, we've been doing this for a while and it's like, oh, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. And we start to drift away.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what it is. It's a drift, and small drifts over a long course of time turn into a course direction. Right. And so, which direction are we drifting? And I think sometimes we're drift. Our human tendency is always going to be to drift away.
Yeah.
It's always going to be that. And so there is something about saying, I'm going to connect with Jesus on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure I'm coming back to him on a regular basis.
And you spoke to that on just the importance of the Word of God. You spoke to that in the thing, I was reminded of was just discipline in that.
Yeah.
Because feelings, right? You talked about feelings. Feelings are something that are good, but can lead you astray so fast.
So fast.
And so, like, one of the things that I get fired up is just the ancient practices of faith, right? And so
so silence and solitude and all those things.
Discipline is needed in your life.
Yeah.
Discipline is needed in your life, in your faith life, and you want to lose weight, whatever it is life. You need discipline in your spiritual walk with Jesus. So if you don't feel like reading the Word, tough. You need to read the Word.
It's tough. It's just
and you said it, right?
Yeah.
In America, how many opportunities do you have to read the Scriptures?
we have the easiest place in the world to get into the Bible. We have cell phones that'll read it to you.
Yes.
Right. So in a language that you can understand.
Yeah.
We got so if you really can't do it, then really what it is is you don't want to do it.
Come on.
Right. And so that's the only excuse that's left.
Yep.
People live in other countries, they might have a better excuse than that.
Right.
But we don't got one.
We don't now.
And I think that's the part of the self-assessment that a lot of Christians don't do is that we have the fake plant mindset where like, well, we're good enough. I mean, we look like everybody else, but really we're not living the life that we should. But what does it matter? Because I'm not much different. And it's kind of like that's where we get sort of this watered down spiritual mindset's been, in the church. It's in the church now where, people, if they can meet what they consider to be this marker, I'm doing this much and I look like everybody else, I can fit in, I'm fine, but really not change anything. I mean, really what is happening in your spiritual journey? Nothing. And those are people that come to us later on and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like, God doesn't talk to me anymore. Right. I have I'm having a dry season in my life and all this other stuff. And of course those things happen, but a lot of it is done by yourself. You do it to yourself.
Yeah. And because, we know that oftentimes, God speaks in this still small voice. And sometimes our life is just too loud.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just too loud to hear him.
Right.
And then there's other times where maybe God isn't saying anything to you because he wants your roots to grow deep and wide. Mm-hmm. That's what plants do when they don't get the water they need, is their roots will be forced to go deeper into the ground.
Right.
To find more sustenance.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when the Lord's quiet, he might be wanting you to go deeper in something, to find something, and that's the thing he's been trying to tell you. But sometimes, and I spoke to this right in the parable. Jesus would speak in a parable so that people would dig deeper. He wouldn't just give you the answer.
Right.
And he does, of course, in this specific instance, but this is one of the rare parables.
Yeah.
But even then, he only tells it to the people who remained and stayed.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we have to dig a little deeper than what we're comfortable with.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. And I think that people that think that it's going to be you're going to be fed everything. Like, the church mentality. Like, I'm going to come to church on Sunday. I've got what I need for the week. I'm good to go. I don't need to do anything else. It is shocking. Barna put out a statistic about how many Christians, even in this last year, 2025, how many people actually put time into the Word.
Yeah.
And it was shocking. I mean, these are people that are, been a part of the church their entire life. And it was single digits, percentages of how many people actually read the Bible on a regular basis.
Yeah.
There were people that, will do a devotional or whatever for the day, but like actually get into the Word and read it. And so the other part of that is they did like a little short survey of things in Scripture that everybody probably should know. And there are not a lot of people that could actually do it. It's almost like the country, like when I remember Jay Leno used to do this, a Man on the Street.
Yeah.
And they would ask him questions about the country and they're like, have no idea.
Sure. No idea.
Yeah,
sure.
What's going on. And it's like that with the Bible. I mean, if we took a survey and asked people, what do you know about the Word? A lot of people don't know. I mean, we find that when we do our trivia questions.
Sure.
People have no idea, never heard that before.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think for the person who, again, like you just said, Pastor Alex, there will be dry seasons in your life. Or there will be, where times where you do need to just rely, and I hate to harp on it again, but you don't need new avenues to experience God.
Right.
There have been well-worn practices throughout the church's history that we can rely on.
Yeah.
That the saints before us have used. And so something that I was so encouraged on Sunday morning was, I know for me, it is kind of this place, doing the heart check of, I don't know that anything's super bad. It's just, have I kind of gotten lax on my disciplines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's always good to take stock of.
Mm-hmm.
That's always good to take stock of, whether it's your health or your spiritual health, physical health, spiritual health.
Mm-hmm.
And so go back to those well-worn paths of faith, right? We know that we have silence and solitude. We know that we have the act of fasting. We know that we have the act of simply praying and being in the presence of God. That is promised to you. If you go to the Lord earnestly and seek him, he will be faithful to meet with you.
Absolutely.
And so
you seek him with all your heart.
There isn't like this secret formula to doing this, right? So the simple fact of, hey, you need to be in your Bible if you're not.
People are just too busy.
Right.
And so like that busyness is a huge one. So the like distracted heart. That's a massive one. People are distracted and they're busy. I said the bold claim, I'm certainly not the first one to say it, that if Satan can't get you to sin, he'll just get you distracted. Yeah. Because he'll do the same thing. And I think another way to say that is, if Satan can't get you to intentionally sin, he'll get you to find a new master, or he'll get you to find a what's the word I'm thinking of? He'll get you to find like a Baal to worship.
Sure.
And you don't even realize that it's happening.
Yeah.
It just over time, because he just wants. Satan's smart. Okay, he's really good at what he does, and so he knows that if it's just like this big red flag, you're going to run away.
Right.
But he will slowly drift you in a direction, and it's usually distraction. Yeah. We talked about 4 hearts though.
Yep.
And one of the things I want to talk about is, for the person who has a heart that is, one of those 3 that I would deem an unhealthy heart. So whether it's shallow or emotional, fueled by emotion, or whether it's hard or whether it's thorny, what's something that you can do to be able to get it to where that heart becomes a little healthier.
Yeah.
And so I think the first step would be to make sure that you're doing an analysis on the soil of your life. So you got to know what you're working with first.
Yeah.
Right. Because then it's hard to have some ideas if you don't know what you're working with. And so I would say do that first and then figure that out, and then start looking at what type of heart. And so I think if you have a hard heart and there's maybe some hurt or some pain, you're going to have to break up that ground.
Yeah.
And that's going to hurt. And you might have to relive some memories
to
walk through it and realize, oh, this is where I'm blaming God. Or this is why I'm not feeling the way that I used to feel. This is why I can't love people anymore, and because of that, that's why I can't love God. And you might be able to do some of that on your own. You might be able to do some of that with a friend. But the truth is, some people might actually need to go get some more help than that.
Yeah.
Right? Because some hurt is serious, and the roots grow really deep. And so getting rid of that might be a hard season for you, but I think it's worth it, right? Because we don't want you to run around with a hard heart, right?
Right.
So you got to break up the ground. They would use a till to do that, right?
Sure.
I think the shallow heart, or the rocky soil, right? You're going to have to, when you pull the emotion out, you will feel a hole, right? Like if I don't know if you ever pulled out a big boulder out of, like, one time I was digging to put something in the ground and I was going to have to refill it up with dirt again. And I pulled out a giant rock. And because of that, I didn't have enough dirt to fill up the hole, because I'm not going to put the giant boulder back in.
Sure.
Right. So there is that hole that now it feels like empty and it feels different. And you kind of have to be comfortable with that and allow Jesus to fill that hole that was once fueled by your excitement or your joy, or just the newness of something new. Right. And so you got to allow that to say, okay, that's not there anymore, but that doesn't mean Jesus is gone. Just that emotion is starting to fade away, but Jesus still remains.
Yeah.
Right. Because people will do that is because I'm excited right now and things are really good, so God must be with me.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, he is with you even when it's not good, even when you're not feeling all those emotions. Right. But you got to move past that. At a certain point, you got to move past that and not say, okay, I don't feel it, so therefore God must not be with me.
Sure.
No, he's still with you. It's just that emotion's gone.
Yeah.
Right. And then the thorny soil, you're going to have to pull out some thorns.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to pull out some weeds, and you got to go from the base and you got to pull out the roots. That's the only way it's going to work. Right. You can top off the heads of a weed over and over again, and it will sprout back up over and over and over and over and over again.
I got those in my lawn.
Yep. They just keep coming back.
Absolutely.
And
they come back bigger.
And if you don't clean them up after you top off their heads, they'll actually grow new ones.
Yeah. Right.
Now you actually have more.
Yeah.
And so some of them have thorns. So some of them are going to hurt.
Yeah.
When you pull them out of the ground, right? Some of them don't want to go. And the reality is, weeds have thorns because people have been plucking them out of the ground forever.
Right.
And so eventually they adapted to have thorns so that when you grab them, it hurts you.
Right.
Right? Because they're not doing any good.
Right.
So there's no reason for you to want them, but they will hurt you if you touch them. Mm-hmm. So it's going to hurt. Right? There's going to be some things that hurts. If you're changing your habits, it's going to be a painful situation, but it's worth it so that the seed of God doesn't get choked out.
Yeah. So when you became a botanist and you started to learn all this stuff, it's amazing. Yeah. You talked about the idea of the distracted heart, and we were talking about it just now. But how can someone tell the difference between simply being busy and actually being spiritually choked out? Where's that line really?
Where's that? I think that's such a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can. I don't even know if I want to say, "Hey, this is the line."
Yeah.
Because then everybody's going to be looking for the line.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They just want to find the line, make sure that I didn't go past the imaginary line that Pastor Hunter said existed.
Right.
So,
can I jump in?
Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
So, I mean, I think for me, like, again, it's that assessment thing that you were talking about, what soil you're on. So being able to say that in your own life of like, can I be honest with myself? Or maybe a spouse or trusted friend to be able to go, how do you see me? And how am I being, am I in a season of busyness? Like we will have times where we're running a little extra hard, but we know that behind the finish line, there's a time of rest, or there's a time to hit the pause button. Is it truly that I'm just busy? Or is there something that I'm just utterly trying to distract myself from everything else other than the true blessings the Lord has given me with a relationship with Him and the people who I love the most?
Yeah.
So I think there is, to find the line would be helpful to do that, being honest with yourself and being honest with somebody you're trusted.
Yeah, I think it's gonna look different for people.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to look at the life of Jesus and that. So Jesus, all of Jesus's miracles, he was interrupted. He's doing something, and then somebody interrupts him, and then he stops and has enough margin to be able to serve the least of these. Jesus, at all of them. You start looking through them, like fact check me. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's all. He's in the middle of something. Woman with an issue of blood. Jesus is walking, and she grabs him. Right? People would run up to him. I need this. He was preaching in somebody's house, and the whole construction in a roof came down, and they dropped the guy down. He was interrupted. And Jesus always had time, grace, and love for those people. And so the moment when I'm too busy to have love and grace and be willing to meet somebody where they're at, that might be the moment where I'm distracted of what's most important. Yeah. Right? That's good. I also think of Mary and Martha, where Martha is, running in the kitchen trying to get all this stuff done, and Mary is choosing what is better. Yeah. Now things still got to get done. Right. So there is that balance there. Yeah. But the moment that we don't have time for people, we're immediately maybe jumping to frustration or hatred or anger. Right. That might be an indicator that, hey, I'm actually moving in the other direction of the fruit of the Spirit. Right. Yeah, I'm actually going in. Yeah. I'm going a different direction here. And that is something that might start springing up in your head, especially when it's just audible. And here's another good example, especially when you're driving in the car, and nobody's there. Somebody cuts you off. Sure. What comes out of you? Yeah. Because it comes from the heart.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So I've been around and I've been that person before. Sure. Just like immediately mad, immediately frustrated. Right? I don't know if that's what God wants for us. Right? And so it's a good thing to say, hey, I'm going to start looking a little deeper into this. It's fair to say we get frustrated. Yeah. It's fair to say we have problems, right? I think that's understandable. But when we start seeing a pattern of this, where it's over and over and over and over and over again, that's good. Then we might start saying, hey, something might be deeper here. That's something I need to look into. Holy Spirit, will you convict me where I need to be convicted? Right? Yeah.
And I think, like what you were just talking about, I think what's interesting, though, is our knee-jerk reaction, our go-to then is to go to the fake plant side.
Yeah.
Right. Like, we don't want to deal with it, but we don't want people to know that we're not willing to deal with it. Yeah.
Sometimes I think we're trying to fool ourselves, too. Yeah. Yeah. Which is an interesting one, too, of like, I don't even want to admit it to myself.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, okay, I'm going to be better. I'm not going to do that anymore. But it might actually be deeper. It might be something in your soil of your life you might have to look into.
Yeah, it's interesting. The distractions. We talk about the distracted heart, and you brought the cell phone. I think that is such a real issue in our time, with that whole thing. And it's interesting, like you talk about how the devil does such a good job. I mean, he makes it such an important part of our lives, not only because it's our calendar, it's our phone, but now we have our Bibles on there. And now and so then it's so easy for us to find that transitional, bridge to not do something. Like I'm looking at my Bible. I'm supposed to be reading my scripture, supposed to be reading my devotions for the day or whatever. And then, I want to see what's on TikTok, or I want to see what's on whatever else.
Yep.
And it's kind of like catch-22. It's a great thing, but at the same time, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And I know as soon as you brought it up, everybody's like, oh my gosh, like look at your phone time, how much time you've been on your phone. I would be surprised how many hours I've spent, doing just random stuff. But
my middle son joked after he heard Pastor Hunter. He's like, "Does Pastor Hunter even know what Instagram Reels are?"
Yeah,
like,
he's like, I 4 hours. Said 4 hours.
Yeah, he's like 4 hours. He's like 4 hours. Does he even have the internet?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, I think that there's immediately when you guys were talking just now. I'm reminded of it just feels like the Holy Spirit just downloaded this for me of what is the Sabbath. And I think that I could teach you about the Sabbath and I would be a fake plant on that. I don't know that I'm really practicing the Sabbath on a regular basis. And
Amen. I'm with you.
Right. And so I think honesty of where we're at is the first step in this.
It's got to be.
Right. So you're not a fake plastic tree anymore, right? You are being truthful. And so again, that next step of you have to do something, right? You have to change something. And so I'm not somebody who's going to tell you can't go to a restaurant on Sunday afternoon. I'm not. I do think that the spirit of Sabbath and being able to carve time out where you are intentional with the Lord is vital to the Christian faith. Yes.
I'm going to rest in the Lord. It is not go sit, watch football all day.
Exactly.
Right? That's not it.
That's not rest.
I'm connecting with God.
Absolutely.
Right? Because he's my source of peace.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm going to connect with him. Right?
Right.
All that makes a ton of sense
and
to me.
There's just so much. There's so many practical steps that people can do in whatever stage of life of being a stay-at-home mom or working a ton of hours or whatever it is.
Yep.
Stay-at-home moms are working the most hours. Like whatever your stage of life is, you can find practical steps to practice rest with the Lord. So
with the Lord, exactly.
That's a good, I think, practical thing for us today.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, that's tough though, right? I mean, it is so tough because we always seem to cloak what we're doing in obligation, or like in our case, this is our job. This is what we're supposed to do. And it's hard to find those moments. That's been a fight in my life, my entire ministry.
Yeah, sure.
Like, it's always something. And then because we are who we are, if somebody calls us on Sunday and we have to deal with an issue or whatever, we drop everything and go for it. But to get those moments of rest, and it is one of those things that you kind of forget that it's something that God instituted with the children of Israel so seriously.
Yeah.
That it was, almost like a binding covenant law that you have to do this.
Well, and Hunter, you said it Sunday of, am I in the Word? This is a ministry specific thing. Am I in the Word for me with my time with the Lord, or is it just so I can now produce for the church?
Right.
Right? You are not just a producer of religious goods and services. Correct. You are a child of the Most High.
Correct.
And so that is so convicting to go, what is my devotional time based around?
Yeah,
right?
or
producing something or being with the Lord.
Yeah, am I trying to get something out of me? Another one that bugs me is like, I'll come to church when I'm serving.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to come when I'm not serving.
Sure.
Right.
Well, you're missing it. You're totally missing the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're doing this out of a job. And oftentimes it's because, and it happens a lot with men, because they only know what it means to be needed when it comes to what they can do.
Yeah.
And so at a certain point, it's got to go beyond that. It's got to say, I'm coming here because I have a love for Jesus Christ, not because I'm needed.
Yep.
Right.
Well, that's the part of the fruit job, right? I mean, farmers, it's amazing to me how farmers can produce so much good stuff, but they don't really know how good it is sometimes.
Sure.
And it's like, as Christians, we're trying to get the fruits of the Spirit. So as producers, we're like, we got to produce these fruits and we got to get people to produce these fruits. But we've never really sometimes taken the time to really enjoy them ourselves and like embrace them and love what God's doing through them in our lives. Yeah. But we're really keen on making sure things are growing and things are moving in the right direction.
It's one of the things that I always love about Free Life that we offer around here at Harbor Light. And I think, it's not just unique to Free Life, but just offering that opportunity to go, hey, we're not asking really much of you other than to just be together and reflect on the Lord. That's it. We're not asking you to, and obviously faith without works, right? We know it's super important, but there is this realignment that takes place when we are with the Lord, and the expectation is that we would be with him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So freedom in that, listener, today, right? There's freedom in that to go carve out time. Go do it. Be encouraged by what Pastor Hunter said to you on Sunday of you do not have an excuse not to be in the Word. Right. You just don't have one.
Doesn't exist.
So let's go.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that for me. I'm preaching to the choir.
Yeah,
here.
I hear you.
Right.
I hear you. Well, Pastor Hunter, we're up with our time here. Do you have any last words that you'd like to share as we close out here?
Yeah, we ended the service with asking people to come up and essentially plant a seed in the dirt. And what they were doing it was very symbolic to say, Jesus, Holy Spirit, I want you to make my heart a healthy place. And so you're offering, and your Holy Spirit's a gentleman. He's not just going to jump in where he's not invited. Say, Holy Spirit, I'm inviting you to come in and do the work that you need to do and reveal what you need to reveal so that my heart can become healthy again.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd encourage everybody to do that.
Yeah.
Is to be real honest with themselves. I want, for the people who listened to my sermon 2 weeks ago of the healing in Bethsaida, where the man had to be honest so he could see. These sermons are intrinsically connected because that man had to be honest in order for Jesus to do that next portion of that healing. And some of us, our heart becoming healthy may be on the other side of our honesty.
Yeah.
And so this could be your week where you really start listening to Holy Spirit to see what needs to change in your heart. And maybe you're going to find some new fruit that's growing. Maybe you're going to see some changes in your life.
It's a good word, man.
Well, that's it for us today. Again, sorry about the podcast last week. We had a digital issue where the card, I don't know, something happened with the card. The
0001111.
Yeah, just kind of like it was like it was there, but we couldn't get it to work.
Yeah.
Yep.
So sorry about
back.
that.
We're back.
So that's why you got the legislative report because that was all we had.
That's right.
Yeah, put that out there. But we'll see you guys next week, and we might all be around the table.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Maybe a special guest. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
good.
But we'll talk to you guys later.
You have found us. More podcast, where we want you to know God more deeply, find lasting freedom, discover your destiny and make an eternal difference. Now,